Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's not quite afternoon yet. I got a couple police stories here, and I know that you guys, my viewers, are interested in stories pertaining to the Black Lives Matter movement and these stories involving police shootings and whatnot. And instead of talking about the ongoing carnival, I was going to say show with Trump. I want to talk about something different right now. So this is a small Texas town in East Texas. I think it's called Wolf City. A police officer, Sean Lucas, was arrested, held on $1 million bail. He made bail. He shot an unarmed black man, 31-year-old armed black man who was trying to break up a fight, apparently. Apparently they got a call that there was a domestic disturbance at a convenience store. It sounds like Officer Sean Lucas showed up, and there's a few discrepancies. I'll put the link down below for a couple different stories. It sounds like Jonathan King put his hands up and attempted to explain. It sounded like he was intervening in a domestic dispute between a man and a woman, trying to stop a woman from being hit. Put his hands up to explain, and subsequently Officer Lucas shot him with a taser. He went down, his body jerking from the taser. This was supposedly perceived as a dangerous action, and he then shot Jonathan Price while laying on the ground. I have a hard time even getting that story out. The one thing that's, I don't want to say a good thing, but Officer Lucas was arrested. Well, former Officer Lucas was arrested, like I said, and held on $1 million bail. There's been some protests, rightly so, in this town. This is just outright murder. I mean, there was no report. This guy was not armed, didn't even approach the police officer. Had his hands up, got shot by a taser, dropped to the ground, and then while he was jerking on the ground, was shot dead. And this is why we need some kind of registry for police. I think more training, more social worker officers, more drug treatment. There's something wrong. There's something seriously wrong when I can't imagine what it must be like to be an African American man in Texas or anywhere. And reading this, I can't imagine how, or a father of a black man. I don't know how, if I had a son that was like 18 years old, like I said this before in other videos, I would be terrified. It shouldn't be happening. And the fact that Donald Trump, this is the kind of stuff that Donald Trump and his czar, his lieutenant, his attorney general just ignore and claim that there's not even a problem. I want to talk about one other story. Right here in Connecticut, in Bridgeport, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. This is a Democrat town, Bridgeport. Joe Ganim is the mayor. He's not involved in this story. I want to make that clear. Joe Ganim went to jail for several years and then got reelected when he got out of jail. He's a felon. He's a felon. He's a Democrat too. I got to be fair, I got to be fair. But like I said, this doesn't really involve Democrats per se. It happened under his watch. The story is Armando Perez, police chief in Bridgeport, just got admitted guilt, pled guilty to stealing the police examination, bribing the one of the people that was giving the examination for police chief, stealing the exams, the answers, just so he would get awarded the job as police chief. It's an appalling story. I'll put the link down for that below. He pled guilty, and it was on the news this morning. His lawyer came on TV and talked about how brave his client was to come out and admit his wrongs. you know, it's amazing how lawyers can spin things to make anything sound, he's talking about the police chief that stole the examination, bribed his way into the position of police chief, and his lawyer manages to make him sound like a hero in the end. But anyway, he's going to be doing some time. I think he's looking at 10 years. So I know police. I've never been in prison, knock on wood, but I hear that it's not too kind to police officers. So both these cops, the cop in Texas that shot the black man. This was just Saturday that this happened. Again, the black man's name was Jonathan Price. I'm sorry, Jonathan Price. And the policeman's name was Sean Lucas, and he's like I said, he's been arrested, and he was immediately arrested, and made bail. Made $1 million bail. How that was possible, I don't know. Anyway, I'll put the links. I thought we should talk about some other stories, and keep an eye on on Black Lives Matter. I don't want the spotlight to go off that. And just let these stories go by the wayside as we pay attention to this carnival. Like the video I made yesterday, that we're all in this orbit of Trump insanity. Half of us believing it, and the other half trying to slow it down, to point out the insanity of it all. And I don't want important stories to go by the wayside. So I'll leave the links down below. You guys have a great Tuesday.